You are Locked On Bears POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Chicago on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Sports Chicago YouTube channel. My name is Joe George. You can find me on Twitter at JoeGeorge92, broadcasting inside a hotel room, so we'll see how the sound quality sounds at a conference room here. But the Bears suffer another just heart-wrenching loss in this game. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is how the Bears lost this game. A blocked field goal, Caleb Williams leads the Bears down the field, and then in the very end there, just heartbreak. Really for the second time this season like that. I mean, the Hail Mary, this thing, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for the Bears. But there's a lot to get into in today's show. We'll talk about the loss, the game itself. Obviously, that really sucks. Like, I cannot believe that in like 4 of these shows, we are doing 2 of these type of post-game shows where it is just a disaster here on the Locked On Bears postcast. But we'll talk about the offense as well today because it was obviously very much improved. We saw a lot of positive things from Caleb Williams and the way that Thomas Brown was using guys. So we'll get into the good stuff that happened. The defense solid but not great in this game. But of course, we just got to start here on the show talking about the very end there. Caleb Williams sacked, 1-yard loss, sacked, 8-yard loss. It's 3rd and 19. And then he comes up with 2 very, very impressive throws to Rome Odunze to get it to 4th and 3, and then to convert the 3rd down, where the Bears were much better today in this game. He gets another big pass to Caleb Williams. And you think, okay, this thing's over. I'm typing out the YouTube show. I'm getting ready to go. Bears upset city. And then they blocked the punt. And then they blocked the kick. They blocked it. And the Bears lost. I cannot believe that this is why we all hate the Packers so much, is that they just find a way to beat the Bears in the most painful ways possible. Like whether it's Aaron Rodgers or now, not really Jordan Love today. The Bears did a fine job against him, but just I cannot believe that they lost on that way, that they are on a losing streak in the way that they are, and they have now 2 times this season had a game in hand with seconds left to go, and it has just slipped away from the Chicago Bears. But kind of going back to the beginning there, away from that last drive. I mean, the last drive is perfect. Like besides the sacks, but you overcome them in such a way, like there's nothing to even nitpick with them. Like you don't want them. It doesn't mean if you get sacked, like you don't, the same plays don't happen. So you take the good with the bad, and then it's just unfortunate that now for the second week in a row in the NFL, we've seen a wild game end with a blocked field goal for a win. It just sucks that it's the Bears this week. You guys can drop in your comments here on the YouTube chat. We'll read along with what you guys are thinking about the Bears loss today. But to have a win in hand, it's just absolutely disgusting. The Packers have now won. I believe that makes it 11 straight games against the Chicago Bears. So same old, same old. Let's go back to the beginning of this game. Let's kind of go through what happened for the Bears on this Sunday, not just on that final drive. Obviously, the defense early on gives up the easy touchdown on the first drive, and then the Bears kind of stall out a little bit after, moving the ball. They get the field goal. It's 7-3. Like you're seeing good things happen early in this game where like there's very limited possessions in the first half, and the Bears are going, it's punt, it's field goal, punt, touchdown. So like in the first half, they've got the 10-7 lead. There's just such limited possessions that you're not really seeing the opportunity for this team to do big things in the first half. And then the second half, it continues. But I thought the way that they used these guys, the way that they adjusted the offense kind of gives you that hope for what's going forward. And it's so hard to do this show like this because I'm so tired of doing these. I'm so tired of doing Bears content and Bears shows and talking about the Bears in terms of like hope and glass half full and just couldn't get it done, but like at least it was a close game. I'm so tired of that. Like I cannot believe that they found a way to lose this game. But in the first half, like the offense just does look much better. So like that is a positive. Like we can't ignore that on a day like today. I mean, you're seeing this team move the ball down the field on the limited possessions that they have. They're using the offense very differently. You get the interception from Jordan Love, by Smith in the first half. Like they're just you're staying in this game, and to be at the end of the first half and up 10-7. It felt like okay, like there's something building here. Like what does it look like in the second half? And then they come out right away. DeAndre Swift has a good run to start the second half. You get a really great throw from Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet, probably one of my Well, until the final possession there, the best throw of the day, that one to Cole Kmet in that first possession in the second half was absolutely incredible. And then we started to see like some of the other spots where the Bears started to be good today. Besides just on third down, they then convert a fourth down conversion. They converted, I think, 2 of them in this game today. So like you see them, okay, they keep moving the ball down the field. Eventually they get to 3rd and 4, and they have to settle for a field goal. The Packers come right back down the field. And then look, this is where the game kind of felt like it was going to be over. DeAndre Swift, 39-yard rushing touchdown. And now this is my only bone to pick with Thomas Brown today, honestly, for the Bears. I thought he did a really good job in this game in introducing like new stuff, simple stuff. I hated the play call. I hate a fade route. I hate a fade route with a quarterback that's not been super accurate this year. He was nowhere near Cole Kmet. I don't know if it was a timing communication thing, but like when you are seeing the issues the Bears have had this year throwing the ball, I don't love the idea of throwing something like that to Cole Kmet. So I didn't love that. The Packers drive right back down. You get the 4th down stop. Like your defense is giving up touchdowns. Your defense is giving up points. But like they have to go for it on 4th down. You stuff them and you get the ball back. They drive right back down the field. You know, like they move the ball pretty far down the field, and then all of a sudden, Green Bay's got the ball back after you've kind of flipped the field, and you're thinking, okay, the Packers have about 4 minutes here, less than that at that point, to go down. Your defense, like this is why you stuck with Matt Eberflus in this game, and then Christian Watson has a pretty good catch. Like it's not spectacular or anything. No one like goes after him, and he just runs 60 yards down the field. Didn't like the challenge. Didn't think it mattered in the end. I personally thought it looked pretty clear as it was happening. I know people I was looking at social media were, that's not a catch. We never know what a catch is. They could have easily overturned that, and I would not have been surprised, but I thought it was a catch in the moment there. But then they get the stop on the 2-point conversion. So the Bears are going to get the ball back, and then we'll kind of go back through here, this final possession here, as we look back at what happened on today's game. And this is where I think this was important. This was an important moment for Caleb Williams because even though they lost this game, as bad as this season has gone, there's now 2 really bright spots, I think, to take away from Caleb Williams, and that is the final possessions of the Washington game where they're down. They've been terrible. They're not moving the ball very well, and he finds a way to lead the first one down there before the disaster fumble, 2 more, scoring possessions in the Washington game. So today he gets the ball back because to be a great quarterback in the NFL, to be what we want him to be as Bears fans for Caleb Williams, like you need to score touchdowns or score field goals on these drives. You need to do what guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers for so many years would be so good at, and that's leading a game-winning touchdown drive. And especially when things aren't going easy. And to get sacked on the first play, look, Caleb only been sacked 1 time. The previous 62 plays, like the whole game, sacked 1 time, 2 times on that final possession there. But he, kind of feels the pressure, moves up, gets a 1-yard sack, like that's fine, I'll take it. And then there's the big one after, and it's not what you want to see. But then he makes 2 great throws to Rome Odunze, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to see from your quarterback, from the guy that you've invested in, from, part of the reason why you made the offensive coordinator change in, this week, because you just need to see more from him. So I felt like even though they lost this game, what matters the most going forward this season is Caleb Williams. It is what does Caleb Williams develop look like? What does he, what bright spots do we take from this team going forward? And I just think that last drive, it is a bright spot to see, him leading the team down to the field goal. But being a Bears fan ain't easy. It's just not easy. I just got a text from a buddy, just says LOL. Yes, that's what it is. To lose this game on a blocked field goal against the Green Bay Packers, it sucks. It is not fun. I do not enjoy. I despise the Green Bay Packers. I got a buddy who's a Packers fan. I'm waiting for the text message to arrive in. And we know that this is just the worst. We know this is what happens being a Bears fan is you lose games like this. But trying to look at the positive, mostly from this game, is just the offensive improvement after making an actual smart decision in firing Shane Waldron. Letting Thomas Brown take over, the improvement we saw from Caleb Williams. So we'll get into that a little bit more next because there is more, I think, to discuss about what, the Bears did offensively today. There's really a couple changes that they made on offense that to me stood out in a big, big way that I want to hit on here and give them credit for in this game. We'll do that next year on the Locked On Bears postcast on the Locked On Sports Chicago YouTube channel. My name is Joe George, longtime and continuing suffering Bears fan. We'll do that next year on Locked On Sports Chicago. All right, Hillsdale College. Have you ever, look, we all know going back to school is not an easy decision to make, but one of the ways that it can be easy is if it's all online. Time is our most precious commodity, so don't waste it scrolling through the same mind-numbing content for hours and hours. How can you spend it wisely to improve yourself? Our sponsor, Hillsdale College, is offering more than 40 free, that's right, 40 free online courses, including Constitution 101, the meaning and history of the Constitution, Introduction to Free Market Economics, The Great American Story, A Land of Hope, The Rise and Fall of the Roman Republic, and a brand new documentary-style course on Marxism, Socialism, and Communism. All of Hillsdale's courses are self-paced so that you can start wherever and tune in whenever. Plus, you can go deeper with readings, quizzes, and discussions, or just enjoy the lectures. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/lockedon to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/lockedon to register, hillsdale.edu/lockedon. Join over 10 million users right now using PrizePicks. Every week, get in there, set your lineup more or less. I think last week I said I was going to go less than Caleb Williams. I actually think I lost that. I can't see it because where I'm doing the show at right now. But look, this is my go-to before every single week in the NFL. I love doing it for baseball season as well. Just like going in there, setting the lineup, being ready to go. So join over 10 million users. It's super easy to use and to play. Always recommend using PrizePicks because you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 picks. Looking at things like we got going on tonight, I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking at the more for DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce both in this game. I guess that's coming up here in a couple minutes, but like we're looking at the Bengals game, more for Joe Burrow and his passing yards as their offense has been electric this season. He has just been on fire this year, especially for a thing like PrizePicks. The number has been really good for him, and getting more from Joe Burrow has been easy. So download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. The best part about that is it's guaranteed fully, so even if you lose, you get the $50 guaranteed. Download the app today, use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, let's talk about this offense today, what we saw from the Chicago Bears. And look, there's a lot of things that we can look at in this game as, like, I want to see it again, right? Like, that's kind of what I would expect the negative response to be from some Bears fans from the pessimistic side of this. But here's the stuff that I thought was really good for the Bears in this game. The first one was some active choices that was made by Thomas Brown. Like, he made the choice clearly and said that getting DJ Moore involved in this offense was going to be something that was important. It was going to make life easier for Caleb Williams. They were going to find a way to get him the ball. We saw a jet sweep. We saw, the little toss jet sweep in front of Caleb Williams out of a shotgun for DJ Moore. Like, they found different ways, not just throwing the ball down the field. But so I thought that was huge, just for him, in this game, because the DJ Moore stuff's been kind of weird this season. We all know it. He doesn't seem super enthusiastic, obviously. A lot of speculation that he could be one of the veterans that was upset with Caleb Williams and his play so far. Would have been rightfully so. But 7 catches, 62 yards, 7 targets. So Caleb connects on all 7 of them. But they were all easy, and that's what they needed. Like, that was what was missing with Shane Waldron's offense, was the easy stuff. It's all right there for you. Cole Kmet, only 3 targets on the day, but it's a lot more than he's had the last couple weeks. But 42 receiving yards and has the best pass and catch probably of the day until that final drive from Caleb Williams. Even the one early on that's nullified by a penalty was a great throw to Keenan Allen. So the guys were open. Like, that's the thing, guys were open just 1 week after the change. And we saw Rome Odunze 6 catches for 65 yards, super clutch there. That continues to be the biggest bright spot of this season, is that the Caleb Williams Rome Odunze connection still seems to be growing and getting better every single week. So even as the Bears move to 4-6 on the season, like you're still seeing like that positive impact from Rome Odunze and both Caleb in this game. So I just love that they found a way to get DJ and everyone that involved that easily. It's just what you have to do going forward. It seemed always so obvious. I think that's why this was always so frustrating for everyone, was like what you're asking your offensive coordinator to do and Shane Waldron is not difficult. It's to have passes that are, quick and easy, and that's what we saw in this game. And then what did we see at the end there? Oh, Caleb Williams has got a ton of time in the pocket because like you can't just keep dinking and dunking and moving guys forward. Eventually you're going to get beat deep. So like you have to make a decision. And while they didn't really beat him deep until like that last drive, I would say, like the Bears just did a good job taking what was given for them. And that's what we saw from Caleb that was important. Like going through my notes here of the game, like you got a couple checkdowns to DeAndre Swift that are just, like he was just missing those in the previous weeks. And there's still times where he's making throws in this game that are way too inaccurate for my liking, that Caleb has to get better at those. I'm sure he will acknowledge that again after the post game because he is the most accountable player right now on the Chicago Bears. But overall, like a very, very positive day for Caleb in this offense. You look at what they did on third down. Like they were excellent on third down. They were 9 for 16. They were terrible this entire season. I think they had more third down conversions today than they had the rest of the year, or at least the last couple weeks, at least the last 3 weeks. Like the Bears couldn't do anything. So you're 9 for 16 on third down. You're 3 for 3 on fourth down. So your play calling is different. It's more effective. Your players are more confident, and you're just doing the little things right. I mean, that is a huge win for Thomas Brown and this offense, because people were making fun of it, but like seeing the way, and it's kind of true. Like I go back to the Texans game when Shane Waldron is just like shaking, but you see like they go up to the booth and like he's just like cool, calm, collected, calling the play like no big deal. So even just the vibe of it, I think is totally different. And really, besides a couple of things where like the Bears are still generally like a sloppy football team. Like you've got some illegal formations. DJ Moore got bumped for one of those, moving forward at the line of scrimmage when he wasn't supposed to. But like not the worst day penalty-wise. Like you're not seeing the big, stuff that would really, really frustrate you. But the other part of the offense that I think we have to like really highlight here is that Caleb Williams was absolutely excellent in this game. Like Caleb Williams was running the ball and moving it really, really well. So honestly, like I think like it's been a really good thing for like what you could see them doing forward, just seeing Caleb take off when necessary. So that's where something like just to kind of keep an eye on. Like I don't want Caleb Williams to be a running quarterback at all times. I do not want that to be. But the way he used his legs today was effective. It was smart. And I liked that it was a blend of designed runs. It was a blend of him just taking off when he had to. But a lot of those third down conversions were him. I mean, 9 carries, 70 yards. And really, besides the personal foul, like I thought that was a bad call. Like I'll take it. That was a weird drive. The Packers were playing super aggressive on that possession, kind of dirty a little bit as well. So I think that was kind of a makeup call. So Matt LaFleur can cry all he wants about it, but honestly, I think it was just a makeup call for like the previous 3 plays where they're doing like nonsense as the Bears players are running out of bounds, getting DJ Moore hurt as they're pushing it out. But look, like at the end there, Caleb Williams, like it was a much, much, much better day, and that's what matters. Like this is everything I think we could have asked for, honestly, with the offensive coordinator change. Like I'm curious if people like don't feel that way, but at least in terms of one singular game, before you look forward to the rest of the remaining schedule this year, before you play all your divisional opponents, besides obviously now the Packers, they won't play them one more time. But like the first step forward, like this is a positive step. Like I think this is what you would have asked for in a change. You would have asked for a win, but like they're cursed. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like they're a cursed franchise at this point. Like this is what being a Bears fan is. Like these are the decisions we have to make in our life. Is like, why do we do this? Why do we suffer? Like this is what it is. Like they're going to find a way, and that's where Caleb Williams, like that's got to be your number one goal, man. It's just got to beat Green Bay when it counts. Not when it's nonsense. Not when it's anything else. But like you got to beat Green Bay when it counts. And today's game is not on him. Would have been nice to see him throw a passing touchdown. Obviously didn't get that. But they just moved the ball pretty well overall in this game. And what they had gone 20, they were on their 26th drive, I think is technically what it was, without scoring a touchdown when they got that first one from Roschon Johnson in the game. That was a depressing stat, so I'm glad we don't have to see that one anymore. Next week will be, was it next? Yeah. Oh, no, we got 2 more weeks until we get a Matt Eberflus road update of how he's doing. They take on the Vikings next week, and we'll see what happens. Let's talk about the defense here. Any comments you guys got? More than welcome to drop them here in the YouTube chat. Hit that subscribe button here for Locked On Sports Chicago if you're here for the first time. If you are here for the first time, we do this after every single Bears, Bulls, Cubs, and Notre Dame game throughout the year. So we'll be back tonight for another show after the Bulls and Rockets game. But hit that subscribe button wherever the Bears, Locked On Bears is available, Apple, Spotify, wherever. You can find the audio on there as well. We drop that as soon as the show wraps up. So when we get back, let's talk about the defense today, kind of what we saw, some decisions by Matt Eberflus, and really just kind of some final thoughts on a very disappointing day for the Bears to have it within your grasp and then to lose it and the way you did suck. So we'll do that next year on the Locked On Bears postcast on the Locked On Sports Chicago YouTube channel.
Locked On Bears is also brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. It's a great way to get your betting jump-started here. A $5 bet on any of those or any of your other favorite sports. And if that bet hits, not only do you get the winnings for your bet, but also a bonus $150 in bonus bets. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets as well, all in one place. So if you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place those bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today and get your $150 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel.
So interesting. So as we're listening to that there, I'm scrolling Twitter, and my gosh, I guess I am like off a little bit on the tone of what people think about Matt Eberflus just looking at this game. Like, look, this is what he does. Like, honestly, I just don't have the energy for it anymore. People are so pissed that they didn't try to get more yardage. I was like, what do you expect? Like, he coaches cowardly. He always has been. He's not a good coach. He shouldn't be the coach of the Bears. He shouldn't be doing this right now. He should have been also fired last week. But, like, the guy who is running the organization, who doesn't technically work for the team, like, no duh, it's not going to happen. But just, like, scrolling through Twitter, like, people are upset. Like, they should be. But, like, I try to, like, view this from the positive because, like, honestly, I just expected way worse in this game. Like, this is what you expect from a Matt Eberflus-led team, is to be let down in a big moment. And, like, you can either be super pissed about it or try to find the positives in this game and take that what you did with the offense. I do not like the strategy, and that is a Matt Eberflus's decision there to play that conservative. I don't know why you do take your foot off the gas that much at the end of the game, but I don't know why he does a lot of the stuff he does. So, like, that's why I'm surprised people are surprised. This is what has gone on for years, is that instead of trying to get a little closer, I also don't really think that, like, getting that much closer, like, it sucks that, like, they missed the field goal, like, the field goal got blocked, but, like, just getting an extra 5 to 10 yards, honestly, like, it got blocked. Like, what do you, like, get the ball up faster, like, block better. Like, that can't blame everything on your coach, to be honest with you, okay? Like, you have to find a way to win this football game, and you just don't. But it just shouldn't be shocking to anyone that they lost this. Like, this is just who the Bears are right now under Matt Eberflus, a coach that does not come through in the clutch. So I'm not surprised. Like, I get the vitriol, I get the anger, I get Jaquan Brisker and his concussion for like the 5th straight week, and he's out 3 more games now after this, tweeting already, "You guys deserve so much more. I'm sorry. We've deserved more for a long time." There is the faith, everything that Bears fans give, like, we deserve more, but like, I'm just not surprised that this is the way they lost this game. And it's just, honestly, that's why I kind of chuckled to start the show if you weren't listening. Like, it's just, this is the way it is. This is the way it's always going to be in some capacity, and that's the real challenge of Caleb Williams as the future of the Chicago Bears, is that this game specifically, you have to win. Like, you have to, in the future, beat the Green Bay Packers when they're relevant. I don't think they have their quarterback of the future. I don't know how you guys feel watching Jordan Love. Like, I don't get the Aaron Rodgers scaries or the Brett Favre vibes from him. Like, I see now almost just like an overpaid quarterback already at this point. So in today's game, like, I thought the defense, like, as a big picture, was solid. Like, you give up some easy drives, but you get a couple big get the fourth down stop, stopping Jordan Love. You get the stop on the 2-point conversion. You got the interception from Jordan Love in the red zone. Like, your defense was fine. It kind of that typical bend but don't break defense. And I would look at them if I was on the offense and just say, hey, we should have won this game. Like, we should have made that field goal. We should have scored more touchdowns in this game. Like, there were drives where the Bears were moving the ball pretty well and they stalled out. But your defense gave up 20 points. So I don't want to give Matt Eberflus credit for that because it is hard on a day like today where this is just the same thing, different day. But, look, the Bears should have won this game. Like, it is the reality of it. Like, it's kind of like a chuckle as it happens. And I guess even as the show has gone on, like, it's kind of clear. It's like just what you expect. But I thought the defense was solid in this one. I don't think there's anything particularly to rave about. I will say, like, I'm kind of, like, frustrated with Tyreek Stevenson at this point. Like, I feel like he's out there a lot of times and, getting crushed in a way that I don't really enjoy. Like, he's just getting burnt on a lot of routes and everything after the Washington game. It's just frustrating that he's not stepping up. It just feels like there's too often that he is getting crushed or getting beat on his routes in a way that is just not good enough for what I expect from him to be, especially responding back after the Hail Mary. So, look, this is a tough loss for the Bears. To have two losses, the Washington loss and this one on your resume. What sucks about it, too, is if there's going to be an argument for Matt Eberflus at the end of the year to keep his job, if the Bears actually, do kind of slowly turn the corner on offense. I feel like today was step one of it actually getting better. Like, what sucks is that people in the organization who are cheap, who don't want to fire coaches with years left on their contract, will look at games like this in Washington and say, hey, like, we are, moving, like, we're fine with Matt going forward. Like, I don't think that should happen. I do not think Matt Eberflus is the coach for this team. And I do think that even though, like, it's a blocked field goal, like, what are you going to do about it if you're the head coach of this team? Like, you just lose these games. Like, it's not a singular issue in this game, and that's why I think there's clearly online already so much vitriol for what's going on with Matt Eberflus, because these are just the games he kind of loses. It's the same, it's the same stuff every time with him. Like, they just to also have to take 3 weeks to get out of your funk that you were in after the Washington loss. I think it kind of shows. I mean, you've got players openly talking about guys not practicing hard. You've got rumors of guys asking for Caleb. Your players got your offensive coordinator fired, which I think is kind of crazy because your coach should have just been the one firing him, knowing that he was terrible at his job. So, look, today's game, it sucks they lost. But the positives from this game is that even though Caleb Williams didn't throw a touchdown pass, what we did see was a just more competent offense. We saw Thomas Brown come in, implement some new things for the Chicago Bears, and that gives you hope that at least they can continue this path going forward, and that throughout the rest of the season, they can continue to develop him and actually get him to a place where at the end of the season, you just feel better. So the Bears lose this game in a heartbreaking fashion. Once again, 20-19 to the Green Bay Packers. If you're here for the first time, we do this after every single Bears, Bulls, Cubs, and Notre Dame game. So hit that subscribe button to Locked On Sports Chicago. What's up to the Packers fans in the chat? I know, you're trolling us. It's fair. There's no argument against it. The Bears lost to the Green Bay Packers. My God, they got to start getting these done at some point in my lifetime. That'd be wonderful. All right, we'll be back tonight here on the channel with another edition of Locked On Bulls POSTCAST after the Bulls take on the Rockets. So hit that subscribe button to Locked On Sports Chicago. My name is Joe George, longtime suffering Bears fan, and we will talk to you after tonight's game for the Bulls and after the next Bears game as well. Peace.